Hi, it's Peg and Dezon.
Basketball wives!
Alright, lots happening on this show.
Yes.
I think that, you know, the scene with Tammy and her mother is unbelievable. Evelyn and Shaunie and Tami, something's brewing there. But before we dive in, let's remind you guys to please subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
Give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and leave us comments. We love to read your comments.
We absolutely do, and we respond to all the comments that we receive, so let us know what your thoughts are. All right, let's talk about Evelyn and the Redemption Roadshow.
Oh, God.
Evelyn, I think, is running for mayor of New York. There is a mayoral election that's happening within the next couple of months, and I'm convinced that she is on the ballot because I can't see another reason why she decides to use my Monday nights to tell everyone everything that she did perfectly in her relationship with Chad Ochocinco. This week was about, I didn't want his money, I was the one that requested a prenup.
Right. She goes to see her attorney, and we have an absolutely ridiculous scene whereby she tells us that she, didn't want the money, and really that she's fine. She had to protect herself and her child.
That's right.
Because Chad's gonna come after that big basketball wife's money.
And the attorney says, and remember, Evelyn, you weren't the one that Chad didn't even want the prenup. And Evelyn's like, yeah, remember that? It's just the fakest conversation to let everybody know that she is not a gold digger.
Right, and we also get another important piece of information, which is that the order of no contact has been lifted.
Right.
Which I guess means that you then show up to Chad Ochocinco's fan appreciation event.
I can understand why she was there.
I was like, what are you doing there?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
She had some cockamamie story for Shaunie about the convoluted reasons why she was there, something to do with his daughter. They arrive in separate cars. Their fans see them arriving. They're so happy to see them together. I'm like, really? They're your fans? And they're happy to see you arrive with the man that headbutted you and put you in the hospital and put a scar on your head?
It was such a mess. When she was telling Shaunie that story, you ever had somebody tell you a story and they are speaking so slowly and sharing the most mundane details because they are making up their rationale for their foolishness as they go along.
Right.
I was in one car. He was in the other car. We had gas in our cars. I had my seatbelt on, and then I arrived, and then they were praying, and some people were eating chicken. And I'm like, Evelyn, get to the point of this. Why were you at the event? How did you end up holding hands with this man? Matter of fact, who cares? Let's all move on.
Apparently, the blogs blew up, and so she felt like she had to explain, what's going on with her and Chad. Again,
the Redemption Roadshow.
I don't care, Evelyn. Be with Chad. Don't be with Chad. I don't care.
So let's talk about Tammy and her mother.
Oh, Lord.
Tammy takes her mom to the spa, finally. The spa that she's been talking about.
Yes.
And Tammy says, so what you gonna do about hospice? And her mother says, surprisingly, I'm not gonna go to hospice.
Well, that wasn't surprising to me that she said I'm not going to hospice, because as I told you guys last week, my own parents have already told me, don't try to even put us in any kind of old folks home. I don't care if we're sick as hell, we're not going to hospice. But what the big surprise was is that Tammy's mom is apartment hunting.
I'm like, you are looking for a house right now? She said, I'm moving. I'm moving.
Right.
Right now. With your stage 4 liver cancer, you are moving homes because she does not want to be in Tammy's home.
Tammy has made it clearly that you are not welcome to die in my second bedroom. So mom in her last days, we're talking about her last days now.
She is in her last days at IKEA.
Right, talking to real estate agents, trying to find a home and thinks she's gonna move in somewhere. My favorite part was when Tammy goes, can I help you decorate?
Really though.
And mom was like, no, because I'm thinking mom's not even gonna bother decorating. She knows she's gonna go there and die. She's gonna get herself a bed at IKEA. and she's pretty much gonna just die in that bed. She doesn't need curtains and flowers and all that in the apartment.
I just don't.
That was the saddest.
I don't understand. I don't understand. And Tammy's whole thing is, you don't because she gets in the confessional, she says, you don't understand our family dynamics. Help me understand. How can the dynamic among 4 women be so horrendous that when one of them, the elder of them, is dying, that woman is talking about moving homes?
Yeah, and Tammy was just kind of like, almost like was ready to ask her for a date. Can she help her pack? Could she call a moving van? Tammy was like, oh good, when I'm gonna leave, I can't wait to tell my kids.
She was like, cause you kind of living with me right now. You kind of living with me. Just the FYI, you and your dying behind. You're at my house dying. You're so disrespectful.
I know. God, that was seriously one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen in my life. I was like, these women are just rough. Really, really rough.
So Susie is talking a lot this week about her past, and she is adamant that Evelyn does not get back with Chad just
right.
Go.
And she tells Evelyn why she's so adamant. She was a victim of domestic violence.
Right.
And, she even confesses the fact that the reason she has a lisp is because her ex-boyfriend, dislocated her jaw.
Right.
And put her in an emergency room. And Evelyn had to feel bad because I guess in previous seasons she made fun of Susie's lisp.
Everybody did on the show.
Don't y'all feel bad now? This poor woman got that from a man. Terrible.
It is sad.
And so Susie, I thought, gave Evelyn very good advice, which is, I kept my communication up until that man put me in a hospital. So if you want that to be you, keep talking to Chad.
I appreciated Susie's advice, and I thought that it was great that Susie put herself out there to give Evelyn some feedback, because Evelyn's not the easiest person to talk to. So I was happy that Susie said, this is so important to me that I'm willing to take that risk that Evelyn's not going to respond nicely.
Right.
Which was great.
Yeah. So good on you, Susie.
Right.
Good looking out. Good sisterhood. Unlike some of these other girls.
You know what? Let's talk about sisterhood. And let's talk about what's not sisterhood. Showing up to somebody's house on a green Run DMC tracksuit, talk about who you gonna pop in the face. Once again, Queen Tammy is on the prowl.
She was like, I'm gonna show up here as hood as possible.
She came in there and was walking like Shanae from Martin. I was like, why? If she came into my house with that energy, I'd be like, Tammy, what's wrong? What is wrong? Why are you dressed like this? Why are you in my home like this?
Well,
she's
still talking about Shaunie's comment to Tasha. It could go really well, or it could go really badly when you meet Tammy. She is still upset over that comment. And pretty much everyone thinks that this is petty and foolish.
Right.
And, that Tammy's dragging this out is a sign that she hasn't changed at all.
No, and Evelyn even says to Tammy on the couch, listen, I said it too. And because Evelyn didn't try to put all the blame on Shaunie. She says, I said it and I meant it, and I just don't think it's that serious.
Right.
And Tammy thinks it's that serious, and then says, I love Shaunie and all, but I will hit her in her face.
Right, which is not a sign of someone who's changed. But what I loved was Evelyn was like, oh really? Well, what is that going to entail? Is it if she puts her hand in your face? Then what's gonna happen? What if she talks and a little spit lands on you? Is that gonna be the thing? Like, Evelyn's giving scenarios where Tammy,
what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Blow up. She was totally egging her on.
She absolutely was. And Evelyn then turns around, goes to Shaunie, and tells Shaunie everything that she discussed with Tammy. And Shaunie has what could best be described as an amazing response. Shaunie was like, let me tell you what you not gonna do. I don't know what you will do, but I'll tell you what you not gonna do.
Right.
You will not get into a physical altercation with me. And then she even says, what I look like telling my kids mommy got into a fight. Which is interesting because she's talking to Evelyn, who's a mother and has been in plenty of fights.
I loved Evelyn's face. She was like, oh yeah, no, you're right. And she was like, couldn't really quite meet Shaunie's eye when Shaunie was saying that. She was just like, no, yeah. And I was just like, Shaunie's just like throwing shade right now at you.
I mean, Shaunie's right.
Face.
Shawnee is right. I've got 5 children. It's 5, right?
I think so.
She's got 5 children. You have no business laying hands. But it's just funny that she mentioned it to Evelyn, who is a professional at laying those hands. So next week, it looks like Evelyn and Tammy get into it over dinner. And
yes.
Tammy stands up, and you can see it's going down.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready to see something pop off on this show.
Yes.
Let's see it. All right, cool. So I'm looking forward to next week. Again, remember guys, please subscribe to our videos and leave us some comments and give us a thumbs up if you like this video.
Absolutely. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.